What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Devin Midrow, back at you again. Let's see. I don't even know what video it is or what day it is. I probably could figure it out, but at this point, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Actually, it probably should matter. Let's see. If it was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, this is the 16th video on day 18. I probably just got to keep track of the videos because I might lose track of the days, but let's see if I can keep track of both. Day 18, video 16. And on the road to 100 videos. That's what I'm going for. On the road to 100 videos. And you know what? I'm fired up today. Only today though, right? No, I'm fired up every day, but today I got something that's a big deal. People might not think it is, and maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I'm gonna say it anyway because, I don't care. I don't care. And in fact, that's what this is about. This is about not caring. It's about not caring about society and what they view and how they view, the world should be. I'm not saying break the law. I'm not saying do illegal stuff right now. Disclaimer: don't do illegal, that'll get you locked up kind of stuff, right? You know what I mean? Don't do anything bad. You know what I'm saying? In that sense. But yeah, you can't live life in a box, man. You just can't stay in that box all your life. You got to step outside of your comfort zone, and you gotta do things that are going to allow you to grow as an individual. And you know what? I just want to get to something specific. And the specific thing I'm talking about is habits and addictions, per se. I've been addicted. Yeah, I've been addicted. I'll talk about my addiction right now that I had. I still got it. It's there. You know how I know it's an addiction? Because it's still there. When you got a real addiction, it never goes away. It never goes away. You might be able to stop doing it, but it doesn't disappear, man. You can forgive, but you can't forget, like they say. And that addiction, that's lingering, man. It's lingering. I can feel it. I know it's there. You know what I mean? It's just waiting to pounce. And that addiction is video games. I mean, I grew up, man. I was probably just getting out of diapers. I was like 2 or 3 years old when I played my first gaming console, and that was a Nintendo. Just a basic gray, box Nintendo. First console I ever had. Nintendo with the controller and the cool like Star Wars looking gun. And the first game I got was Super Mario Bros. / Duck Hunt. It was a two games in one game I got, and that's why the console came with the gun. And got it from the neighbor next door. The neighbor next door was selling it for $20. I don't know how I know it was $20 because I didn't pay for it, but for some reason I got $20 in my head is how much my parents bought it for. And it's gonna be a longer video, so you might want to double the speed up or whatever. Hopefully my words are you can comprehend what I'm saying at double the speed. I'm pretty sure you can because I've already tested it. Yep, I've definitely tested my words when I'm speaking, although I am speaking a little fast when I get excited, but don't worry, you'll be fine. So yeah, that was it. That was the start of that addiction right there, because video games for me, like once I knew that I remember it was on my grandpa's tube TV with the antennas like this, and the dial, you spin the dial, and guess what? The dial was broken. All it had was just the metal piece that the dial was stuck to. We had to use some vice grips on the little metal piece sticking out just to change the channel. Yeah, I still remember hooking it up. Blue, red, and white. Excuse me, not blue, red, and white. It was yellow, red, and white. I don't know where the blue came from. Probably because that's what I was doing this morning. I was working on my sales page. Got that done, and I'll be getting to that. Don't worry, I'll be getting to that part. But and the sales page was blue. It's a nice blue. Blue's nice. I mean, people like the color blue. Let's just face it. It's a nice color. But it was yellow, red, and white. Yellow video, red, white audio. That's how you hooked it up into the TV. And bada bing, bada boom, you can play games on it. And I still remember all that stuff. One of my favorite things to do. Don't worry, there's a point. I'm getting there. Don't you worry. One of my favorite things to do when I was a kid, I'm talking young elementary, kid, even before I started preschool, is get up early in the morning. I'm talking like sun's not even up yet. It's like 2, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, something like that. And I'd be like a young kid. I'd get up early in the morning and I would get up, use the bathroom, wash my hands. Because, I was fortunate to have good parents that instilled that into me. Right? Because if not, I wouldn't wash my hands. I wouldn't brush my teeth to do any of that stuff. But I had parents keeping me in line. Right? So, I'd do all, use the bathroom, wash my hands. Boom. As soon as I was done with that, straight to the TV. Straight to the console. Powered that on. Popped on the TV. Controller in hand. And I got into my world. You know what I mean? That was the addiction right there. Is getting out of the current reality, which is cool. Nothing against the current reality. But jumping into a completely different world where I had complete control within the space, or the parameters of the game, right? So there's some rules to the game, right? If you got no rules, which is still can be kind of fun for people, right? It makes it a little more wide open, right? But when you got parameters, you got you can jump this high, you can only hit this hard in the game, or you can only go this fast in the race car, whatever it is, you can kind of build upon that, right? You can build upon that. And it makes it fun because you can create. You kind of have this world with these pieces in the world, and then you could build that world. Whatever game you play, you can build that out. You know what I mean? You can, you could beat levels, right, and all that cool stuff. And I just loved it, man. I felt like I had so much control because, first of all, video games they're in the house, like that's where I live. And I mean, I don't think I ever had it in the room. They wouldn't allow us to bring it in the room, but we'd had it in like the living room or something like that. And like I said, when I got up in the morning, super early, no competition, right? I got three brothers. So, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm up during the day, you think I could get on the game and actually really like have a good solid session on the game? No way. You know what I mean? But I like playing with my brothers with video games. Don't get me wrong, but I appreciated getting up and really kind of playing a game and just getting into the story, or whatever kind of characters were in the game or whatever it was. And that's something that captivated me. And there's varying levels of addiction that are really bad and that are really good, right? And that one was it was kind of on the borderline, right? Borderline of being dangerous. I never it wasn't missing work. You know what I mean? I wasn't like missing meals, you know what I mean, to play games. Maybe occasionally I would, but did it damage a relationship? Yeah, it damaged relationship. Yep, it sure did. Because, when I had free time, I was like, well, I got this free time, I'm just going to play games, right? That was my default. That was my automatic default. It's like, well, I got nothing better to do, so let me play some video games because that's fun and I like that, right? And that's kind of how that went down right there, And so that's kind of what made it a dangerous habit, a borderline habit, is because, there's a certain level of control you got to have with your habits. And that's what I want to segue into, though, is, I understand addiction. I get that because I still want to play video games right now. I still do, but I don't. I cold turkey. I quit. I dropped it. And you know what's even cooler? I still got the consoles. Yep. I still got them. I got the controller, the console. I got everything I need to jump on and play whenever I want. Now, I don't have them hooked up. Nope. I ain't got them hooked up. That's true. But I still got them. And I might play them one day. I might jump on. But you know what? Right now, I got bigger fish to fry. And what I did was I took that habit that I created from that addiction and I redirected that energy towards a new habit and a new addiction. And that's what I want to segue into today. That's what I alluded to earlier with the color blue that I accidentally mentioned about my sales page. So this morning, I got up at 12 o'clock in the morning. 12 o'clock a.m. in the morning, Hawaii Standard Time. And how did I get up that early? Well, guess what? I went to sleep early. And you know what that means? That means I had to sacrifice some time with the fam. Yep, that's right. That's right. But you know what? I let them know straight up. I told them what I'm doing in the morning. Why I'm going to sleep this early, so I can get up in the morning to do what I need to do. And that is, I got to go. You know what that goal is? 100K by the end of this year. 2023, I'm making 100 grand. 100 grand is what I will be making this year. And I'm going to have a full-time online business. When I say full-time, it means I'll be working that full-time and I won't have a job by the end of 2023. That is my goal. So I'm putting that out there and I'm telling my family about it. And you know what happens? If you keep a goal inside, you keep something kind of buried away inside, it's really unlikely you're going to get it. Now, some people have the fortitude, they have the willpower to push through and do it within themselves. And that's totally, hey, hats off to you. And I've been able to do that to a certain extent. But when you put it out there into existence and you start telling people, hey, I'm taking the actions to get this done. I got to be in bed. I'll be in bed by 6, 7 o'clock. 6, 7 o'clock. As soon as I get home from work, I'm eating dinner at like 4:30, 4:45. As soon as I get home, food is happening right there on the spot, because typically you want to eat dinner at least an hour and a half, preferably 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. And I'm not even hitting that. I'm barely hitting an hour and a half. Maybe 2 at that. Maybe 2. You know, but you gotta get disciplined. We got 24 hours in a day. I work 8 hours a day. I gotta drive to work 45 minutes to work and then 45 minutes back. 45 minutes to an hour, mind you, depending on who I'm driving behind and the traffic and all that. So let's just round it to an hour. I work 8 hours plus a half an hour for lunch. So technically I work, you know what? Let's just make it simple. Let's just say with the half an hour for lunch, 8.5 hours, and the 45 minutes drive time down and 45 minutes back, which is an hour and a half. Don't worry if the math you didn't catch that. It's 10 hours. 10 hours is what I will spend driving and working. Now, this doesn't include when I'm getting ready for work in the morning, but let's just call it a solid 10. And I'm really trying to push 5-6 hours of sleep. If I can get 7, awesome. You know, but that's about as far as I can sleep. I've done 8 occasionally, but typically, once I'm up, if I wake up at, my typical, 12, 1 o'clock, my heart starts racing. You know why? Because that means that I can get to work, that I can go after my new addiction, my new hobby, my new habit that I built, that I've designed by taking the old habit that I had, getting up, because I would still get up early, play video games, right? And I said, well, what can I do to beat this habit? I said, let's replace it with something different. And that's what I did, is I replaced it with something different. And at first, it was hard. The first couple weeks were hard, like anything else. When you got that addiction, oh man, it's there. It was there calling my name, man. It wanted me to come back so bad. So just play a little bit. Don't worry. You could do your business too. You could work the business and you could play video games too. Don't worry, you could do both. And you know what? I can't. Nope. I tried it. I've tried that multiple times. Where I'll do my business some and then I'll reward myself with some games, and then how that goes, right? Nah, it don't work. Not for me. It don't work. So I cold turkey. I gave it up completely, 100%. I don't have games on my phone. I don't have games anywhere. None of that. It's all business this year, because that's what it's going to be. If you want to achieve your goals, you got to go after it. You got to commit. You got to have tenacity. You got to be focused. You got to have determination. You got to have willpower. You got to push through that adversity and make it happen. And that's it. That's my 24 hours right there. I will sleep from probably about 6 to 7 o'clock at night till about 12 to 1 o'clock in the morning. And I get up Monday through Sunday. There's no days off. I ain't take days off either. There's no, it's the weekend. I can, nope, none of that. There's no days off. I eat 1 meal a day, once. I don't eat breakfast. I don't eat lunch. I just eat dinner with the fam, and that's assuming they're at home and they can eat with me at that time. You got to get selfish. I'm getting selfish. And yeah, it could be a little cruel at times, even I feel it. I'm like, man, I'm cutting them off early. Believe me, my friends, family, I hardly ever talk to any of my friends and family. And that's a sacrifice, you know what I mean? I don't like it. But you know what? In order to get this done, I got to do what I have to do. And if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen. That's just how it's going to go. You gotta want it bad enough. You gotta fall in love with the game, like Michael Jordan said. They asked Michael Jordan, what separates you from? What is the thing? What is that one thing that you got that just separates you from everybody else? Like, why are you so great? What is that thing? And he paused for a moment, and he said, just real kind of casual, real just calm. And he said, you gotta fall in love with the game. You gotta fall in love with the game. That's what it is right now. So you know what? I'm falling in love with the game right now. Every morning I'm getting up, and from that window, 12:1 all the way to about 6, right after a little bit, after 6 o'clock in the morning, it's all business. It's getting that done, right? It's getting the next thing done. Even if I only get one thing done in the morning, one thing completed, I'm moving the needle forward. I am making progress, and I'm going to get to that end goal. I'm going to get to that destination. I see it. I see it off in the distance. I know where I have to get to. I just reverse engineered everything that I know is in front of me, and I'm just taking the next step, one step at a time. And before you know it, before I know it, I'm going to get there. I will get there. So I don't even know how to wrap that lesson up. I don't even know how you can just take what you want from that. Usually I try to get a takeaway. I don't know. There's a lot of takeaways on that. You know what I mean? You might want to rewind that and play it again, take some notes, whatever you got to do, because there's a lot of nuggets dropped in that. And I might seem cocky, but I don't say that to impress you. I just say that to impress upon you that, I didn't get here by accident. I got here by design. Now, I'm gonna take my blessings where I get them. But you can't ride that lucky train all day. You gotta earn it. You gotta put in the work. You gotta put in the time. You gotta put in that effort. You gotta hustle. And you know what? I'm gonna close out with that. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you on the next one. Aloha.